What's up, guys? It's your boy Poison Fang, PF Chang, whatever you want to call me. For one, I want to go ahead and say, how are you all doing? Is your morning going okay? You getting that breakfast in you? And for anyone who's at school, hope school's going well. Hope you're enjoying your last week before summer vacation, if you aren't out already. So, for another thing, yes, I shaved my mustache off. I look a lot different, I know. Kind of weird without it. So the next thing I want to say is this isn't really going to be a vlog. It's not going to be vlog number 5. It's mostly going to be like talking about the logistics of Pokemon for the Switch and what my thoughts are for how Gamefreak is going to handle it, along with giving you guys like an update on how the cosplays are coming along for OMGCon, which is, oh my god, it is it's in 2 weeks and a couple days. Like, seriously, 2 weeks and a couple days. I am very, very frantic right now that I've seen this. Holy crap. That's not good. I also want to put out a disclaimer that I do curse like a sailor. I'm sorry for any younger viewers whose parents don't want to hear that. It's best probably to get off now because it's not going to end well. If you guys hear that. So I want to just go ahead and say that yes, disclaimer, I curse like a sailor. And mostly this is just logistics about Gamefreak and Pokemon for Switch, along with the update on cosplays. So I'm going to go ahead and get on with the update on the cosplays, because the Pokemon's going to take a little bit longer to talk about. So, pretty much all my costumes are finished. Like, I got my Gengar for Friday, I got my Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue for Saturday, and then I have my Steampunk for Sunday. Oh, almost forgot. I also have my Inuyasha for Friday as well, because apparently me and Bethany are doing a double cosplay day that I still need to make the ears to. That's going to be fun. So yes, I need to go ahead. I need to make the ears for that. After I make the ears, it should be alright. I shouldn't have to worry about anything else. Of course, I'm not even going to worry about the necklace because, just know, I'll worry about that necklace another day. But right now, no, I don't need to worry about it right now. I do need to make the ears for my Gengar and like stick them onto a headband, and it can go around my over my wig. Paint those ears purple, and I'm done. That's about it on that one. And the ears is the only thing I have to worry about on Inuyasha. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, however, I'm gonna make him a little battle damage, like put some like cuts and scrapes on my face. Don't worry, I'm not actually gonna do that. I'm just gonna paint them on. Make it look like I've been in battle already. But yeah, it's gonna look like my suit hasn't had any damage whatsoever. Alright, well, there's that. For my steampunk, there's only a few things I need to do. Like, I only need to take my gears that I got from Hobby Lobby and then put some rubber cement and stick them to my hat, my top hat. Because I want to make it look like I have gears on my top hat as well. Now, I can make it to where they're connected, or I can make it to where it's just random placing of gears around my hat. Just for any of you who want to help me with that, just put it down in the comments on what you think would be best. Connecting the gears or random placement of the gears on my hat. Either one is fine. Now here's where it comes for Bethany's outfits. Her costumes. For one, she has her Pikachu ready and done. It's more like she's either wearing the one she got or she's wearing the onesie that I have, and she can just wear that. That's up to her. I don't really care. Just, I'm really hoping that she kind of covers up a little bit of that Pikachu outfit because it is a little revealing, and I don't want her to really reveal much like that because, for one, I just don't want people staring at her. I don't want people staring at her. I don't like when people stare because it's like, are you judging her or what? I know it's really none of my concern, mostly because of the fact that if they stare, they stare. Nothing really we can do about it. It's just one of the weird, random, useless things that I worry about. And yes, as you can see, I'm wearing a newer type of shirt that I usually wear. I'm wearing my wonderful Godzilla quarter pounder cheeseburger, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it the Godzilla burger. Bethany's parents got me that for my birthday, and I thought I should wear it for this video this time. Oh my god, who's it? Yeah, find out. Why, Landon? Why? There's so many steps, so you're gonna have to just wait. Jeezums. Yeah, Landon's been helping me with getting my OBS studio ready so I can do like a Pokemon emulator for you guys. Because I want to get started on other things besides these vlogs or just me sitting in front of a camera talking. That's it. I don't like to do that. It gets old, and I know you guys are probably getting tired of me sitting in front of a camera just talking to you. I mean, even though it feels like I'm talking to friends, that's what I try to do for this channel. Mostly because I got the inspiration from Jacksepticeye. I want to make my channel kind of like his, to where it feels like you are talking to a friend. I want my community to actually feel like that. So, yeah. Back to the subject of the updates on her cosplays. Oh my god. The one cosplay that I've been working my ass off this entire time is her cyberpunk dark fairy cosplay. I swear to God, this is the most irritating, frustrating costume I've ever made in my entire life. Not even my Legend of Zelda Link cosplay was that bad. Because all I had to do was take a freaking nightgown, and that was my tunic. I took freaking leggings, and they were my tights. All I really had to do was make the hat, make the shield. That was it. That was the only things I ever had to really make, and not even I made them. My mother made them for me. Well, I helped on the shield, but the hat my mother made for me. And that was like my second year of OMGCon, which was like 2015, I guess. Because, yes, I started like right after I got out of high school for OMGCon, and it was like the best I've ever. It was the best thing ever, like seriously. Um, I have to say, I wish I would have gone sooner than after I finished high school, but you know, I'm just glad I went when I did, because I love it. This is now going to be my 4th year going to OMGCon, and I have never felt more alive. 2015 is also when I started going to EvilCon, so this past March was my 3rd year going to EvilCon. Last year was my first year going to Colossal Con, and this year would be my first year going to Louisville SuperCon in November. So there's that. Oh my God, I'm rambling again. Oh my God, someone slap me in the face, please. Okay, we're going back to the subject again. I'm sorry I keep rambling. I'm sorry. Okay, so back to the subject. This one cosplay has been so frustrating, so irritating. It's unbelievable, and I want to just scream sometimes. And I'm not saying that I don't want to do it. I'm not saying that I hate making this cosplay for her, because I actually really love it. This is the first cosplay I've ever made from scratch. Like literally just buying material, making the dress, making the cloak. Well, making the wings, that's nothing new for me. But this would be my 2nd time making wings. But what the point I'm getting to is that it's not that I don't want to make this cosplay, because this is a very big accomplishment for me. And I love making this cosplay. It's just, I've never had something more frustrating in my life to make something that simple, but it be that hard to do. Like, yesterday, she had to put on her dress so that way I could hem it up, because it was too loose on her body. So, of course, I had to hem it up. I had to do like this kind of stitch, just so that way it would hem up right. Mostly, I'm going to work on the wings before I finish the cloak, because all I have left on the cloak is just a little bit of hemming up. Well, not really hemming, but there's like these little pieces right here. They used to cross, and I had to fold them inward like twice, so that way they wouldn't cross. That way a chain could go and attach to each side. So I have to sew that little piece up, because I've only got it pinned right now. So hopefully my pins don't fall out, so I don't have to redo that. Mostly the only thing that was really, really frustrating about the cloak was the fact that it was a mesh material that I'm using. So for the fact that I'm using a mesh material, my little knots I put at the end of my thread, because I had to make her hood, of course, and her glove. Oh my god. I swear, every time I burp, it feels like something's gonna come up. Okay. But as I was saying about the mesh material, that little knot that I put at the end of my thread, because I made her hood. So, of course, with making her hood, I had to sew it up. But the problem is, that mesh material, those holes in that mesh material are larger than the knots I make in my thread. So that means I had to put it through, gently pull it all the way until that knot got to the end, to where the knot touched the mesh material. Then I held the knot, and then I went ahead, circled around, and went ahead and made my first double stitch knot. That way it would stay. That, I have to say, that was really, I mean, the cutting wasn't bad at all. It really wasn't. Ugh. The cutting of the, oh my god, I cannot speak. When I was cutting the design out, that part wasn't bad. Mostly I free-handed that shit. And it still turned out pretty good. I'm glad that it was able to turn out good, even though I free-handed all that stuff. So yes, I'm very glad that turned out great, even though free-handing was a bitch. I made her glove, of course. The glove of course she wanted it for her right hand. That's fine. Doesn't matter to me. I made it to where it's right here on me, but yet it goes all the way to here on her. You can see much of a difference there. For me, my hand is a lot larger. My entire body structure is a lot larger than hers is. So of course, that's where that kind of comes into play as difficult. Because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to make sure that it was fine on me. And I knew that once it went somewhere on me, it would go a little bit larger on her. So, that's fine. She says she likes it. She says she likes the hood. I'm okay with this. I mean, I couldn't even model the hood after her head like I was planning to. I had to model the hood with a template of my own hood, like from one of my jackets or my vest with hood, my hooded vest, whatever, however you want to say that. But besides that, yeah, I had to make a template using one of my hooded vest. So, of course, I should have probably used a little bit more fabric, because now it's I mean, for her, it's better. For me, though, it kind of comes up right here. But that's it. Now that that's done, I just need to make the wings. Of course, heaven forbid, I'm modeling those wings after Tinkerbell's wings. I modeled her dress after Tinkerbell's dress, because that's what she wanted. So now I have to make steampunk wings, but make them look like Tinkerbell's. So here's a little situation about that. The fact that they're going to be coming out probably this much past her body, I have to find a way to fold them inward so that way when she wants to go inside somewhere and it's a compact space, that way all we have to do is fold her wings in, and that's all we need. That's all we would need to do. The thing is, though, about that, we would have to make sure that those wings do not collapse back down without us doing that. So, for any of you who know how to make wings like that, know the mechanisms, like for door hinges and making them stay when you want to and collapse when you want to, by all means, feel free to put that in the comments below to give me some insight and just a teensy bit of help, because I want to make sure this is perfect, and I want to make sure that she completely is in love with this costume that I make, because I'm going to feel very accomplished. And don't worry, I'm going to make sure that I post a picture of her fully done cosplay, because I'm going to try and see if I can get a I'm going to see if there's any way possible that I can get like some sort of GoPro, either that or get the Vivitar 360, and I'm going to see if I can get a video made for you guys for OMGCon, because I want to do this. I want to make a video for you guys for OMGCon, that way for the ones who don't go, that way they can feel like they went. So there's that for the cosplay, although there is some little tidbits of detail I want to do on her wings, because when you're looking at her like front ways, when you're looking at her face to face, you're going to see a chain that's coming from the tip of her wing to about a third of her wing, which is where the I don't know exactly where I'm going to put these door hinges. Most likely I'm going to be putting it at the 1/3 mark, which will actually be good. I've already got the door hinges itself. I just need to make sure that this is going to be hard to do, but it's worth it. It's completely worth it. Most likely I'm going to put the chain at from the tip to the 1/3 mark, where I start cutting that wing and then attaching the door hinge on it. So there's that. Along with that chain, I'm putting some spikes on the top of it, and then spikes on the bottom of the other side. So I'm also probably going to maybe, I don't know for sure, but maybe I'm thinking maybe I will go ahead and like draw some stitches, like say her wing got broke. So I'm gonna make like, I'm gonna try to draw it to where it looks like it's how do you want to say it? Smoldered? Either smoldered or mended. I don't know how you want to say that one. But I'm going to make it look like I smoldered the thing together or mended it together. And then I'm going to put like staples, like industrial size staples, and just probably do that with the wings. So most likely I'm just going to take a stapler and I'm going to be like, boom, 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 done. But of course I'm going to draw a line to where it got snapped. Because see, with this being a cyberpunk, of course she's going to have steampunk wings. Make it look like those are mechanical wings. And that's why I want them to be able to fold inward, not just as a convenience for compact spaces, but I also want that to be part of the design. That way we can just be like, fold them out when we want to, when we want to take a picture, and then fold them back in for when we're just walking. And that way nobody runs into her wings, nobody accidentally breaks them just by running into them. Trust me, guys, I wanted, I was thinking so hard of how to do that because of the fact that people can run into you and break something of your cosplay. And when people do that, I can understand how people would get very angry or upset if something like that happened. Trust me, I've been there. My freaking wings broke. The ones that I made for myself when I did a Discord cosplay, I'm freaking put it to where my wings were made from one layer. Just one layer of freaking, I don't know what it was, either it was cardboard or it was a foam board. But I swear to God, they broke. And I was so upset about it. Like, they started to sag on me so it wouldn't stay up. So I already was getting upset about it. I was like, screw this. Screw the headband because it kept on going forward on me. Screw the wig because it was starting to pinch my head. I was starting to get a headache from it. It wasn't fun at all. Like, I was just not in a good mood that first day. Boy. Just boy. Other than that, the only other thing I can say for you is that dress is going to look damn awesome when I get done with it. Like, I've already put the cloak on. Like, when she had the dress on, after I mended it and hemmed it up, she asked if I wanted to go and put the cloak on to see what it would look like. I'm like, sounds great. So I put the cloak on. It looks great already. Like, seriously. All I have to do is put those wings on. She just needs to put her wig on. Bam! It will look amazing. Oh my God. Like, I've never felt so accomplished in my life. I mean, besides the college thing. When it comes to nerd stuff, this is the one thing I've never been so accomplished, or I've never felt so accomplished in my life. When it comes to nerd things and cosplay like this. Pretty much, I think that's about all I can really say for it. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so now we're going to get off of the cosplay situation. We're going to talk about the Pokemon Switch. Okay. I know that for any of you guys who are like Pokemon fans out the ass, and not only that, but you also have a Switch and you love your Switch, you guys can understand where I'm coming from for the fact that I love Pokemon and I love the Switch. So the fact that they're putting a mainline Pokemon game on the Switch really makes me happy. Like, I mean, it kind of makes me a little unhappy because that means both my 3DS and my Wii U are going to be kind of obsolete now. But oh well. I think that's what Nintendo was trying to do. They were trying to integrate both a home and mobile consoles, so now anyone who has a Switch, their Wii U's and 3DSs are kind of obsolete now. I mean, I'd probably keep my 3DS mostly because it has my other games, but for the Wii U, I kind of don't really see any point in keeping it. So most likely I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it for about $60 on Owensboro Barter and Trade because I even asked the person at GameStop how much I could sell a Wii U for. They even said $60 in-store credit. So that's not bad. Not bad. I'm going to go ahead and say, though, yes, I'm going to be selling the games along with it. Not only am I going to be selling the games along with it, so that means there goes my Twilight Princess HD remake, my Wind Waker HD remake, so that's 2 other Zelda games I haven't fucking finished. I really wanted to finish Wind Waker too because, I mean, I've never really had such a wonderful Zelda game like that come into my life. I've always loved Toon Link too. I've always loved him. Like, once I played him on the Smash Bros. What was it? Brawl. Yeah, I played him on Brawl, and he was amazing. Like, that was a very amazing character for me. He was actually one of my mains. Although now with the on the 3DS, I made it to where I made a custom character for him. I made it to where his attacks are a lot, more fierce, but yet I also put his defense up big time because he's a light character, so of course he needs defense on him, on his side. So, yeah. Okay, wow, I just went way off subject. Okay, so back to Pokemon for Switch. I'm just going to go ahead and say, for any of you who are interested in a Wii U, I will be selling one on Owensboro Barter and Trade on Facebook. So, yes, that means I'm going to be selling the games too. So that means you guys are going to have a smorgasbord of Wii U games along with the system itself. You're welcome. So whoever wants a Wii U, by all means, you can go ahead under my Facebook page. Pretty much it's my actual name, Seth Evans, but it has Fang in parentheses. So and the icon is Jeff and Jane the Killer. So, yeah, that's not bad at all. Just tell your personal information. Okay, so other than that, um, back to the subject of Pokemon for Switch. Now, I've looked at a lot of leaks. Okay, I have. So, if you guys don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and get off the video now because it's not gonna end very well. If you, because if you hear these leaks and you don't want to hear these leaks, I'm sorry. I'll even put in the description I'll even put as the title right now. Warning. Spoilers. Well, not really spoilers, but they're kind of leaks. So, they might be true. They most likely are true. Because with these leaks, I've gone to the to the reliable sites, to the reliable YouTube videos like GameXplain. And, I mean, I trust those guys within an inch of my life. So, if they say that these leaks are pretty reliable, then most likely they are. Again, these are leaks. I don't know for sure if these are true, but they could most likely be true. So I want you to go ahead and be prepared now. Because if you stay on here, here's the leaks. Leak number 1. It's going to be a remake of Yellow version. The Special Pikachu version, like way back on the Game Boy Advance. So, there's that. Another thing is the titles are going to be called, yes, I said titles. There's 2 of them. 2. That are coming to Switch. So yes, that means line your pockets up with some cash because I'm getting both those damn games. I know a lot of other people are going to do that too. The titles for them are called Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Yes, apparently they wanted to put emphasis on Eevee. Coincidence? I think not! Literally, I do not think that's a coincidence. I think they've been putting emphasis on Eevee for a reason. That maybe there might be another evolution. Now, I swear to God, if they put a freaking normal type evolution on there, that is a waste of a typing. That is a waste. Because if they put that normal, they could have put another freaking evolution that is not normal by, I mean, let's see. Eevee has the fire, electric, water, grass, ice, psychic, dark, and fairy. It has 8 different evolutions right now because its main form, its first form, is normal. There is no reason to have a normal evolution, a normal type evolution. There's no reason for it because Eevee's already a normal type. You don't need to add a normal type evolution in it and waste that 9th spot. Yes, it would be good to have all 18 types of evolutions, but with Eevee already being a normal type, it doesn't make really much sense to make it into a normal type evolution. Make it, there's still There's still 8 more types they could use. Like, seriously, there are some prime examples of evolutions I'd like to see in this new Pokemon game if they actually add one in. I'd like to see a dragon type evolution, possibly a ghost type evolution, a steel type evolution, or a poison type evolution. I mean, seriously, those are 4 prime examples that I'd like to see, actually. A dragon, steel, poison, or ghost. Especially the ghost. The ghost and dragon. Like, definitely. Those are 2 definite examples that I'd love to see in this new game of Pokemon. I mean, yes, they already put the the one thing in there, the fairy type Sylveon. I swear to God, that thing is. I never ever want to have a Sylveon. Never. Mostly, out of all of them, I've always wanted an Espeon and an Umbreon. That's always what I've always wanted. Was one of the. Actually, I've always wanted both of those 2 in my team. Another thing, like, but I mean, with that emphasis being put on Eevee, I don't think that's much of a coincidence. Okay, so there's the titles, and that's what they're based off of, is Yellow. It's a Yellow remake. Now, here's the thing about that. I've heard, now emphasis on I've heard, that the graphics are going to be in between Pokken Tournament and Sun and Moon. Or Usum. And if you don't know what Usum is, just in case, it's Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. And if that's the case, that's actually not bad. Because I actually would like to see that. Like, you get your grown-ass person, like we want, because we're tired of the chibis here, even though the chibis were pretty cute. But still, the fact that I would never want the chibis back. I really wouldn't. I'm sorry, but I like the grown people. I like the actual proportions that Sun and Moon and Usum had. Like, how small the actual, like, Caterpie was compared to you. It was great. I mean, you're only, like, what, 11 years old in this game? And yet, you're like almost full grown. Almost. There are people who are taller than you, and that's great. I'm glad that there are people who are taller than you. Because if there's not anybody taller than you, it's just going back to that whole damn chibi thing, and I don't like it. So, but I've heard that the graphics are going to be like that, and that's great. I'm glad I'm glad we're going to get our full-grown people instead of our chibis. Sorry to anybody who loves the chibis more. But I'm kind of glad that we're getting those kinds of graphics. Especially when it's a mix in between Sun and Moon, Yusum, and Pokken Tournament. That's awesome. Now, one of the other leaks that I saw on that list was the fact of there's going to be the Pokemon following you, like in Gold and Silver and Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Those are coming back. That's coming back. You get to have your Pokemon follow you around again. Now, with the proportions like they did in Sun and Moon and Yusum, I would hope that that means that if you have a full-grown Pokemon, say like a Zygarde, because it's supposed to be adding all 800 Pokemon in there. They're supposed to be. I'm hoping they do, because if they don't, that's just kind of stupid. Because that means, hey, we're only dealing with the first 151 Pokemon again, and I don't really want to do that. I want to have some of the brand new Pokemon in this. But if these Pokemon are full grown, like they were in the Sun and Moon, if these things are proportioned the way they were in that game, that means you could have like a freaking like, say if you have Yveltal in there. Say you have Yveltal. Somehow you got Yveltal. I don't know. Maybe you're going to be able to transfer your Pokemon over from older games into the newer games, which would be fucking amazing. Which means you'd have to probably download Pokebank. You'd probably have to do that. So you probably have to go to the eShop, download Pokebank, and take like all your Pokemon from your X and Y games, put them in the Pokebank, and then on the Switch, you'd be able to pull up the Pokebank, and you'd be able to see all those Pokemon that you got. So you would take them from the top, put them in the bottom, which would be kind of awesome. Like, seriously, just... And the thing is, it would only depend on, well, actually, with the Switch, I would believe, since... Okay, for anyone who has a Switch, you know what I'm talking about. Every game you download, or that it updates for you, every time your system updates when you put a new game cartridge in, every time you take that game cartridge out, your icon of your game is still on there. So what I'm saying is, if it has... I'm wondering if it has both of the icons, if you can choose which Pokemon you send it to each version of the game. But I'm sure it's probably going to be whatever cartridge you have in. I'm sure it's going to be like that, because that's how Gamefreak has always had it. But what I was saying about the Pokemon following you around. If the proportions are right, you could possibly have an Yveltal or one of the legendaries following you around. Maybe not full size, but maybe half their size. Although a full size would be kind of cool, but if you have a legendary following you around, and it's like Palkia or Dialga or something like that, that's going to be a little too much. So I'm guessing that pretty much they will all be just a little bit taller than you. Like, I would say if it's a legendary, they're all going to be like, say you're this tall in the game, they're probably going to be this tall. So they're going to be like a good chunk taller than you, but they're not going to be their full size. I would say that would be the best thing to do. Is, I mean, even in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they had it to where your Pokemon will follow you even inside the Pokemon Center. Like, and then when you healed your Pokemon, like, all you have to do, and it would do a little animation to where you would take your Pokeball, zap your Pokemon back in, and then give your Pokeballs to Nurse Joy, or whoever you give them to in this new game, and they would heal them like normal. After that, you would take your Pokeball back out and toss your Pokemon back out, your leading party Pokemon, and they would follow you again. I think that would be pretty cool. Like, really, really awesome for those animations. I mean, for them saying that they're gonna get this game released this year, they must have had to be working on it a couple years ago. Like, when they had development started for the Switch, they must have went ahead and started Pokemon like a long time ago, because the Switch has been out, I'm going to say, since last year. Yeah, it was last year. So they must have had a whole year to freaking develop this Pokemon game. They must have had a year to do it, because, well, they must have started it when they started development on the Switch, before they released the Switch out. They must have, so that means they could have started back in 2016 to start development on the Pokemon game for it. So that means they must have taken all the codes of every Pokemon that has ever existed, of course transferred all that data, and then added a few more Pokemon inside of it, so making it about this big of a ball of data. Actually, it probably could be a lot larger ball of data, but say it's this big. They added a little bit more in it. They added some more graphic design. There you go. Add a little bit more graphic design. And now added the HD design of every Pokemon in there. And that's not including adding like the rest of the graphic design of all the people that you see, if you see any. So I'm sure you see some people in there. So there you go. That's probably all the data they have for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And they squeezed it into this little ball, and then they squeezed even more, and then just sprinkled that dust onto a cartridge, onto the circuits, squeezing, sprinkling, and bam, there's your cartridge. So take all that data that I just showed you and just sprinkle it into this little cartridge. That is probably what's going to be on our Switch. Because, I mean, that's a lot of data. It really is. Okay, the next leak. Next one on the list was something about all the Alolan forms will still be there. So, the fact that you're going back to Kanto, but all your Kantoan forms of the first 151 Pokemon, they made it to where your Alolan forms are still there. So that means Executor, Rattata, Raticate, Vulpix, Ninetales, Sandshrew, and Sandslash. I mean, that's up to them. That's fine with me. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't bother me at all. Let's go ahead and also say the next leak was that your Pokemon Go would be, like, you'd be able to cross-platform them somehow. And, like, all the Pokemon that you catch in Pokemon Go, you could send them over to your Switch version of Pokemon, and bam, there you go. Thing is, that means I'd have an Ivysaur, a Blastoise, a Charmander. I'd even have some of Gen 2 Pokemon in there, like Totodile, Cyndaquil, and Chikorita, because I have all three starters of Gen 2 in there. Now, they even did Gen 3 a little bit, because I've seen some of the Pokemon for Gen 3. It's actually kind of good. So, the next leak, I mean, for the whole Pokemon Go thing, I don't really know how that's going to integrate with the Pokemon Switch version. I'm not really fully excited for that, because I kind of don't want that to be like that. I don't want Pokemon Go to be integrated with the Pokemon Switch, because I feel like it would be kind of weird. Although you get some special reward if you link up both of them together. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe. Yeah, this face really says that I actually believe what the hell I'm saying. Okay, so, yeah, there's supposed to be some sort of Pokemon Go integration. You get some sort of reward for linking up the two together. Now, here's where the funny part is. You know how you catch Pokemon in Pokemon Go? You just swipe on your phone and you actually see them wobbling around, like it goes into a close-up. Well, they said something about the catching process is simplified to where it is like in Pokemon Go. So apparently you have to either throw it yourself with your Joy-Con. You have to click on the Pokeball and throw it yourself, which I think is kind of cool. That's like the only cool part I find from Pokemon Go being integrated into Pokemon Switch. But the fact of you being able to actually throw it yourself and you actually have a chance of missing, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, the fact of you missing the Pokemon, yeah, that's fucking frustrating. I can understand that's frustrating, because I've had that crap go on. I've had that shit. It's not fun. when you miss. Especially when they start attacking and you throw it and you're like, fuck. I missed because, heaven forbid, the freaking Pokemon started attacking they started attacking the air while I'm trying to fucking catch them, and it misses. It just bounces off their head and goes away. Like I never even caught them. And that's not fair. So, Gamefreak, please do not do that. Do not make it to where they attack the... Well, actually, you can make it if they attack the air. Do not make it to where if we get a hit on them, if it actually touches them while they're attacking, do not make it to where the ball misses. Don't do that, Gamefreak. That would make the biggest gamer rage of any person playing the Switch version of Pokemon. Do not make angry customers, Gamefreak. Please. For our sakes and yours. Because we will never trust you again. My God. Okay. So, as far as I know, that's all of the leaks that I can remember without looking. Okay, so I do want to say a few little tidbits about Gamefreak and the logistics behind them. Okay, so you all remember that when you get on your 3DS, you play your Pokemon games, you always have to delete the previous game save file before you start another one. You can't just have all the Pokemon you caught while starting another game file. You have to delete that previous one. And thing is, I think I may have found a loophole. So Gamefreak, if you were listening, please make it to where this loophole stands, so that way I can be right. I mean, it's not like I'm going to get some sort of fucking medal for it. But yes, if any of you happen to listen to this, and some of you are from Gamefreak, please let this stand. Please let this go through, because it will make a lot of Pokemon players happy. The one thing I want to say about this loophole is the fact that you can make more than one account on the Switch. Trust me, I have 4 accounts on my Switch. 2 of them are for myself, while the other 2 are for my 2 little cousins who play the Switch with me. Yeah, I'm the reason that they're gamers now. I've never been so proud of myself and them for actually wanting to play the Switch all the time with me. So, the fact of it is, on the Switch, you have the ability to make more than one account. On the 3DS, I don't know if you still have that ability. I don't know if you ever had that ability in the first place. All you could really do is make Miis as your favorites. That's it. You could only make favorite Miis. On the Switch, actually on the Switch, you can't even make Miis. I just thought of that, and that kind of makes me sad and kind of grosses me out. Makes me disgusted. That I can't even make Miis now. Oh. This has nothing to do with any Pokemon. But Smash Bros. For Switch, I want them to and I mean it, please, keep the keep the custom me characters, please. I beg of you. That was amazing to do. Like, most likely you're probably gonna make it a Wii U platform, like use the Wii U platform and build all the 3DS stuff on top of it and make it the ultimate Smash Bros. Game. That would be awesome. Okay, back to Pokemon and the logistics of Gamefreak. But the fact is that you can make more than one account, like profile. You can make more than one profile on your Switch. The reason that I think this would be a loophole in Game Freak's designs of their Pokemon games is the fact that when I played Splatoon 2, of course, I had already beaten the story. But I went on my other profile. When I started up Splatoon 2, it went ahead and it started everything over. That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying right now. Is when you are on your main profile and you've beaten every game that you have, and then you get on your second profile, because I know a lot of you out there probably have like more than one profile on your Switch. You probably do. Especially when you heard about the Senran Kagura game. At first being only part of the Japanese eShop. I know that that was the case, that some of you were making some Japanese accounts just so you could get it. I know you were. So, for any of you who have more than one profile on your Switch, that's what I'm getting at. Is technically you could use your other profiles, keep your original Pokemon that you caught in the first profile, go to your second profile, and start the game over again. You'd still be able to have all your Pokemon that you caught in your first profile, but use your second profile, and you have a complete second Pokedex, or a complete set of other Pokemon. So, say you got done with your first one, go to your second profile, you can choose a whole different starter, you can choose a whole different thing. So, if you wanted to, I don't know, say you wanted, or say Game Freak actually made it to where you could make choices in the game that would actually affect the outcome of how the game goes. Say you actually wanted to do that. I mean, that's pretty cool. So Game Freak, if you're listening, please do that. Please make it to where you can make choices and it actually affects the outcome of the game. I beg of you. Boy. Oh shit. I've recorded for 1 hour and 6 minutes. Yay! Okay, so, but yes, I'm really hoping that of all things, that Game Freak will allow you to have your entire second profile be your second game file. Although, it would be nice if Game Freak would allow you to have like 3 game saves, or 3 save files that you could have in the game. Because, I mean, that's what they did for Kirby. That's what they did for... Someone help me out here and give me another game that they made more than one save file for. Shit. I think for Super Mario Odyssey, yeah, I think they made it more like that too. Yeah. Yes, guys. These are my knees. They're up in the air. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm really hoping that they will actually plan to give you 3 save files per profile. Like, so you get to have like 3 different people for your entire game. That would be amazing. And then you go on to your second profile, your entire games have been done. Your entire games have been, like, it's as if you never played them. And then there's another 3 profiles, or another 3 save files that you can have. There's 6 save files in total that you can do. So, and that way with 3 save files per game, 3. I mean, that would be actually really awesome because that means you can have your character, you can have 3 different names, and you can have a profile with each of the 3 starters. So I think that would be pretty awesome. The fuck was that? Better not have been people downstairs. I'm doing a video. I'm doing a fucking video, guys. Calm your asses down there. Okay, so, but there's pretty much all my logistics on Gamefreak. Gamefreak, if you happen to be listening to this video, please, I implore you, please let this happen. Please make it to where we can have 3 save files on a Pokemon game. Since this is the Switch and not the 3DS, pretty much go ahead and make it to where we just don't even want our 3DS anymore. Make it to where we feel as our 3DSs are obsolete. That's what we want you to do, Gamefreak. Please make that happen. I think that's about all I can really say for this. Again, I will go ahead and put in the title that there are leaks. I'll just say PF CHANG cosplay updates / logistics of Pokemon Switch, and then warning, leaks. So yeah, there's that. Well, guys, it's been fun hanging out with you for this video, and I want you guys to continue having a great day. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, you beautiful people.